Good afternoon, everybody. It's Kurt P. White here, handicapable.life, here with my co host again today, Dr. Marianne Hoyle.
Yeah.
Welcome, Marianne.
Thank you. Glad to be
And
here.
once again, unfortunately, our co host Brian was not able to make it with us today. So, Brian, be careful out there.
Yes.
Welcome to the source. We are going to talk about our weekly winning word review today. But
Yes.
before we do that, here's just a little bit about who we are and what we're about. Welcome to the source. The pieces of the puzzle that I've decided provides, there's 10 of them. Tools and resources are two of them. The resources where I kind of find where we fit in. Doing it the way we do as a vodcast or podcast, we're a source of information, a source of motivation, a resource for the people that might need a little bit of encouragement. It's a resource for them to be able to achieve their goals and dreams. If this show, The Source, can help our members do that, I'm all in and I'm excited. Welcome back, everybody.
Hi.
Like I said, hope you're all doing well. Marianne and I are here today, and where the heck has time gone, Marianne? It's February is now almost over.
Yes, but we
Can you
have an
believe it?
extra day this year.
That's true with
That's true.
leap
So,
year. So
yes,
yeah, all of you
yes.
with the leap year birthdays, happy birthday every
Yes.
4 years.
Happy anniversary. Yes.
Yeah, however you want to look at that, but I just can't believe it, and the way Mother Nature has played with us over the past few days, it's just kind of welcome to Illinois. And that's
Exactly.
that. 'Tis the season, but we really got spoiled on Sunday with the weather. I don't know about you, but I was outside
I
most
was
of the day,
outside Saturday and
and
Sunday.
oh, it
Yeah.
was beautiful. Now here we are today. We've got another winter storm coming, so all of you out there, be careful, for sure. Again, what my point is I just can't believe that we're already towards the end of February. Here we are, and when it comes to where we're at in our progress with achieving our goals,
Yep.
and
That we a lot of us set up in January.
oh yeah, with our New Year's resolutions and everything,
Yes.
the word for the week, the weekly winning word, is review.
Right.
And so we thought that what a great time, now that 2 months have already flown by for 2020, let's take a look back, and maybe this is a good time to review where we were at just a couple short months ago, and in regards to what were our plans, what were our goals. Um, a lot of people, when you talk about resolutions, it's almost like a joke that
Mm-hmm.
they're talked about how these are everything that we'd like to do this year, and you really get gung ho about them. And then by this time of the year, a lot of
They've kind
people
of gotten off
have
track
forgotten about them,
and gotten
And
off track. Right.
so,
Some people by the end of the first week they're done.
yeah,
I've
I'm
seen
done.
that
I
too.
give up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
If
done.
like for me, if I were to honestly say, okay, I'm not gonna eat Oreos anymore, I
See
guarantee you,
you.
yeah, January 10th, I'm done.
No.
Yeah, I'm out. So,
Yes.
but so today we just want to talk a little bit with our viewers about the word review, and the definition according to our success journal here is to examine or assess with the possibility of instituting change if necessary.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I liked the way that defined it, where it added the idea of there's a possibility of instituting change if necessary, because almost always that's the case, at least in my mind.
Right.
How about you?
Same here for myself. And it's even the New Year's resolutions usually are goals or changes.
Hmm.
So to review if you've done those
Right.
changes.
Yeah, to hold yourself
And
accountable. Hmm.
yeah. And to remember the things that you have done.
Hmm.
So also pat yourself on the back.
Right. You made a good point. When we were
Yeah.
talking before the show, we seem a lot of times we said, "Oh man, I don't want to sit and review all these things. I'm just going to be disappointed." I shared with you, a lot of times my fear of writing things down or making a list or following one is exactly that. I'll be disappointed if I go back and review them and say, "Oh, I didn't get to that yet." We tend to always in these situations focus on the negatives or the things that we didn't accomplish. You made the awesome point then. Well, let's talk about, or don't forget to remember the things that
That
you
we have
did get
accomplished.
done. That
And for me this year, I feel really extra blessed
Yeah.
because I had way more that I accomplished than I had not. So that alone has motivated me to
That's awesome.
thank you, to
Well,
do the whole list, to do, to do all those things I said I was going to do,
sure.
which really wasn't that big of a list to start with.
But I could tell when we sat down and I asked you how's your goals going, and you kind of had that sparkle in your eye, and
Yeah.
you were excited about it. And go ahead and share the story that you said with working with Andra, who's also
Andrew Benson, the
a member
therapeutic
at I've
yoga
Decided. Yes.
master,
Yep.
expert.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have been working with Andra doing therapeutic yoga for about, time flies so fast for me, so maybe a month.
Yeah.
And she evaluates you, and I did it. It was one of my goals for this year was to do something different for myself physically.
Sure.
And one of the things she noticed was that for sure is I have a tendency to walk forward. So I'm not on my heels, I'm kind of pushing
So
forward.
literally, she noticed that as your gait
Ye-
was a forward.
yes.
That's crazy.
And we were working on it, and she said to me, and I said to her, I wonder what that is emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
Because, that's all a component of who we are. And she said, I don't know, maybe like pushing through life or pushing too hard.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's anything that maybe I have been guilty of for sure is pushing too hard.
Mm-hmm.
And what I have learned in the last year is that ability, or I'm hoping to get better at it all the time, is to do more of a flow and to flow to the right things so I don't have to push.
Sure.
So my hope is that through my body and working with Andra, I will physically get that, which I know will help me mentally.
That's awesome.
I know,
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah,
exciting,
and when
isn't
you
it?
shared that, again,
Yeah.
so basically, as you reviewed what you've accomplished based upon what your goals were at the beginning of the year,
Yes.
it also encompassed meeting somebody new,
Yes.
somebody that was able to point something out to you that's going to actually help you move forward in attaining those goals. Probably pointed out something that you had no idea you were doing until she brought it up
Exactly.
and noticed it. And I just thought that was awesome when you're looking at, now at this side of it, where we go back to the word, you're going to institute some changes or make the changes that you
Exactly,
think
'cause
need
I'm
to be
aware of
made.
them.
Because now you're aware of where you were at, and maybe that's not where you needed to be at this point, and so you can adjust again, make the change
Right.
if necessary. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
For me, I think both of you, and I see it all the time at I've Decided, and the success stories that we share at our BYOBs.
Yes.
You're always hearing, it seems like we've got a great group of people that are very dedicated to aligning their actions with their goals. And if they don't,
And their passion.
they're pretty quick at picking up. Well, where is it? The self awareness is, I think, pretty high with the group of people
I
that we
agree.
have. But does that mean that there's still not a need to review? Absolutely not. What I'm thinking is they maybe probably do it more often, which is also part of the review process, which we encourage people. You had said how one of the things that she's not maybe the
Not
best
doing.
at is looking at them at least 2 times a day.
Yes, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do more of that. So I need to put them up on a mirror, make them so obvious that.
Yeah. Well, and I think that reinforces and encourages consistency. When you
Yeah.
see, first of all, you put it in writing, you have a plan, which that's another thing about doing a review is you want to make sure you have a plan in place,
Right.
because without a plan, goals are simply dreams. That's what we say a lot of times here. So if you're reviewing kind of where you're at and you feeling yourself not moving forward, it's probably because all those things you want to do are still dreams.
Yeah, goals include actions.
Goals have to include actions.
Yeah.
Faith, I've said it before too.
Faith
and
is
action
a
go
huge
hand in
part.
hand.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer, and personally, I lean on prayer a lot. But I realize, and again, you you reinforce the idea that, you know, all the prayer in the world, and certainly God isn't going to, not welcome it, but He also knows that you got to take the action, and all He can do is guide. You have to do the action in order
Right.
for it all to come together.
And I think personally for me, when I was talking about my posture and Andra and
Hmm.
all of those things, is that trusting and all of that and my flow is great. And I don't have to push so hard.
Hmm. Yeah,
Since
because
it's so much, yeah,
we,
it's that nice balance
yeah.
of,
Well, and she just made you aware of something that you didn't. Well, you already, God always, He gives us what we need. Everything is here. It's just a lot of times it's a matter of us being aware and making the best use of it. Um,
and making the choice.
so once again, coming back to the idea, if you find yourself stuck or you're not able to follow through with your resolutions, or there's all these things that seem to be stagnating, do a review of yourself and be honest. I
Mm-hmm.
know our word this week is review, but last week we were talking about
About honest.
honesty, and it wasn't just the fact of, Abe Lincoln, and I will, and I will not tell a lie, and all those types of things. That's certainly a part of it too, but to really be honest with ourselves.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
being honest with
yeah,
ourselves is a lot harder than sometimes being honest with
for
others
sure.
and things. Yes.
And I think as you are reviewing and you're examining yourself or assessing where you are and where you want to be, it's impossible to do that unless you take a real honest look at yourself.
And
And,
to be
and
okay with that.
hmm
Because
and
we're all okay with that. That's another thing that I've decided.
oh yeah.
It's one of the places that I think you can be truly, truly honest
Hmm.
about your weaknesses, and people love you and cheer you on and
Yeah.
give you suggestions
Right.
and
Oh yeah, all those things.
help you
There's
grow.
there's no stupid questions. There's
Yeah.
no stupid answers. It's a place where you don't have to worry about making mistakes because we've all done them. you know.
Oh, yeah.
And if any
A lot of them.
if anything, as you're reviewing through where you're at, and you say, "Man, I've sure messed that up." Well, don't look at that simply as a negative. Look at that as that's
Yeah.
progress.
It makes me think about when babies start walking or whatever. I think about how many times they fall, bump, ting, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, if they never did that, they would never walk.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what we're doing. So we're always should be reviewing, not
Mm-hmm.
should be, I hate to use that word, but always hoping
And willing to change if
and willing to
necessary. Be
change.
flexible.
Be open.
Understand that don't get stuck in a pattern or get stuck in your ways. There's
Yeah.
there's so many
Don't get
times.
stuck in your own muck.
Exactly, or stuck in your own mind. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm my own worst enemy.
Yep.
It's get out of the way. And um, again, the insanity definition, we say it a lot. You try the same thing over and over again, and expect a different result.
It doesn't work that
Well,
way.
it should be.
That's where review comes in.
It should be obvious if
And
you're
being
if you're
honest,
stuck
yeah.
in that. If you're honest with yourself, that a change is necessary. I was just sitting here thinking as we were talking too. I just got done. My wife directed another show out at Metamora Fields.
Yes, I
It
saw
just ended
that.
on Sunday. It was You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, and they did a great job. It was a wonderful experience, and I was honored to be the production assistant. But the point I wanted to make here in regard to how do I see it applying to review is they started that show with auditions back the first week of December, and they rehearsed. There was a little bit of a break, 10 days maybe for the holidays, but
Hmm.
every day they rehearsed for a few hours up until Sunday. So a good 2.5 months they rehearsed and got together and went over and over their
That
line, their
repetition
lines, and yeah, the consistency is
and
what I was
repetition.
gonna
Yep.
say. And
Yep.
and every night a review was happening because my wife, as a director, would point out both good things and bad things that
Yes.
she was seeing on the stage that the actors themselves maybe didn't notice.
Bringing it
So
to awareness.
exactly. So I was just thinking through that whole process as being another great example of how reviewing your situation, seeing where you're at, knowing that their end goal was they wanted to have the best performance possible
Right.
for the audience, which they did. Somehow, one way or another, those things always come together. But it took a lot of honesty, a lot of like self-awareness, the ability to be able to change and not take it personally,
To be
and
open,
to
yep.
lift each other up, to work together. You can't do it all on your own. There was a whole slew of people that came together to make that show possible. But the rehearsal itself was the review process that it simply wouldn't have been as great as it was if they wouldn't have been committed to doing that on a day-to-day
Yep.
basis. And I think as we're getting close here, we've mentioned the group I've decided, the fact that we've both been involved now for I'm going on a few years. You're close to
So it was
yeah.
September
So
for me.
so still relatively
Relatively
new,
new,
but
yep.
quickly you've seen the people that are involved with I've decided. Kim's put together a great group of people. This is our 6th year, and our business members
Yes.
that come together and support us. We lift each other up and we empower one another to be the best versions of ourselves. And a lot of times that means through our success groups and as we discuss where we're at, and because I've decided's mission is your success. It's
Right.
our success. We want to do whatever it is we have to do to make people successful. Being a part of their review process is obviously a big part of it. And so we share with one another what it is that we think we can do better. And also we applaud our successes when we're out there achieving our goals.
Exactly. And at I've decided as a member, there are so many opportunities to review what you know you're not good at in the different success classes that are they free
Yeah.
for community members also?
Yes, free for members. Yep. Which
And I've taken a couple of those just to, and my whole staff has, just to help us with the areas we know are weak in.
yeah, you and I were at the Master Your Message.
Yes,
Was the
yes, yes,
last
yeah.
Tuesday? So
So, yeah, that's a really big benefit.
all kinds of groups out there that are out there. They're free to the members, as Marianne alluded to. It's easy to become a member of I've Decided. All you have to do is go out to the website, www.ivedecided.org, look at community, and right there you fill it out, you sign up. It's $15 a month. What else can you do to have access to all these types of resources that are going to help encourage you, motivate you, help you review where you're at, come up with your goals, where it is you want to be, and then
Yep.
you're going to have the people there that are going to help you achieve those goals.
And it's personal goals, business goals. You will find all of those kinds of things.
Right. And
Yes.
the way Kim explains it, and I think it's great. I've decided has all the pieces of the puzzle that are
Yes.
necessary for all of us to be successful.
Yes.
There's motivation, inspiration, tools and resources, accountability, support, the right mindset,
Yep.
and then the last one we added is contribute,
Yes.
which we say just show up. All you have to do in so many things in life
It's
just show up. You have no idea who you might be able to help that day. A day like today when the weather's lousy and the snow's coming, sure would have been easy to just sit back and relax. But I couldn't wait to get here and do this
Yep.
show with you. We're at the end of our time. Thank you so much,
Thank
Marianne,
you.
for joining me
Thank
again.
you.
I can't wait till next month. Thank you for listening.
Yes.
And we hope you
Have a
have a
great day,
wonderful day.
everyone.
Be safe. The pieces of the puzzle that I've decided provides, there's 10 of them. Tools and resources are 2 of them. The resources where I kind of find where we fit in. Doing it the way we do as a vodcast or podcast, we're a source of information, a source of motivation, a resource for the people that might need a little bit of encouragement. It's a resource for them to be able to achieve their goals and dreams. If this show, The Source, can help our members do that, I'm all in and I'm excited.
PeoriaLife.com.